We're on, girl. We are
right.
live.
All right.
Beat them haters in the mist. Tryna hit you with a stick. On this side, ain't no easy licks. From the projects, I was raised in the bricks. As a kid, used to be scared of hearing on my house that night. Little did I know, this my calling, this my destiny. He just died, but can't let it get to me. He was a teammate, more like family. He was the bro that you be hurting me. That's why the devil always the enemy. That's the problem in my community. We don't express how we feel. My pain in my lyrics, all my struggles. You gon' hear it. I'm your template. I'm your blueprint. I'm your standard. I'm your goals. I'm the goal on the mountain. It's a full moon staring at the stars. All my dreams coming true. I'm in line with God. Don't be surprised. I'm a legend on the rise. Cradle has arrived. Yeah, I've been through a lot. Hear my wolf cry. On them dark nights, I highlight. I know you hear us now. Rolling out.
All right. What's up, guys? How y'all doing? How's everybody today?
Yo. Oh.
Where are you guys joining me from today? Where are y'all calling from?
Well, I'm coming from, Southside Jamaica, Queens. That's where I'm residing from right here in CREDLE 10. We in the building. Let's get it.
Yes, sir. All right.
New Jerseyan. I am a New Jerseyan.
A New Jerseyan. All right. How's the weather in New Jersey? I mean, I don't mean to talk about weather, but in Florida we are not okay. It is ungodly weather here. So how's the weather?
So what's messing with? I was in Florida 2 weeks ago, like I told you when we were talking on Instagram, and it was nice over there than it was over here.
Not that hot.
So I don't know how it is in Queens, like in terms of like the architecture, but where I live at in New Jersey, they're building a bunch of like complexes, like luxury apartments. So they're cutting down all the trees, so we don't have any breeze and there's no shade, so the sun is just beating on you the whole day.
Yeah.
So when I went to Florida, yeah, it was hot, but there were trees, so there was a nice breeze. It was cool. I was like, oh, it's like 90, but it feels like it's 85. New Jersey, it's like 80, and it feels like it's 98.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, I accept that. I guess when you're not from here, it's a little different. But
I'm more outside. It's beaming. Same thing over here in Queens.
There you go.
And I've been coaching. So I've been coaching. In the gym. Sometimes I'm in the park. So yeah, when it's hot, it's hot.
Man, so Cradle, you coach basketball, right?
Yes.
Basketball. I'm a basketball coach too, and we don't have a gym, my boy. We outside. Yeah, straight after school, outside hitting the pavement. It is hot. So, but we get through.
Play basketball, guy?
I play basketball.
Yeah, I'm 6'5". She's 6'5".
I'm not 6'5". I'm 5'3".
You said you're 5'11"?
5'11". Yeah.
Close enough.
Yeah. Well, okay. Yeah, for a girl, right? For a girl. Yeah, I played in high school and a little bit in college. And now I get an opportunity to coach and give back like somebody gave to me,
What position?
A post, 5, 4 in college,
okay.
5 in high school.
What? Oh, listen, man. Yo,
we don't have to play when I get to Orlando. I'm gonna be there for the festival.
Listen, catch me in Queens in December. How about that? I'll be in Queens in December. So we might strike up a game.
We can do a home game and an away game.
Right? Oh, there it is. Speaking of home game and away game, will we be seeing you guys at URBANFEST 360?
Yes, you will be seeing
CREDLE
and CREDLE Entertainment at the Urban 360. I am pleased and I am excited for my debut at the URBANFEST 360, and I'm excited to make my yearly trip to Orlando for you guys. I got my new Orlando family, so there we go.
That's right. That's right. You're right. AB, how about you? Will we be seeing?
I'm not gonna be able to make that.
All right. All right. Well, we're going to take plenty of pictures. We're going to make sure to big you up the whole time since you can't be in the building. So you'll still feel like you're there. Okay.
I appreciate
All right.
I got a post. Sorry to cut you off, but I got a post scheduled for tomorrow. Cradle, I'm going to hit you up after this. But they sent the laurels out that were nominated for Best Music Video, and they put my name on there. I said, ooh.
Yeah. As it should be, respectfully.
That's what's up. Now, if we win, they might mess up my last name. So, Gab, you just gonna have to let them know. Just Director Ab.
Director Ab. I know. I'm so used to typing AB1, but then when I say it, it's AB. So we make sure we get you right.
It's all good. Right.
Okay. All right. Now, Cradle, we're gonna jump back. We're gonna go back to your debut at URBANFEST. But I can't go any further without introducing you guys properly. Okay. So today I'm joined by two returning voices to the Actors Talk and the URBANFEST 360 team, filmmaker AB and musical artist CREDLE. Both of them bring a unique perspective through art and by having and keeping the Wxlf Pack movement going since we last spoke. I'm excited to catch up with them both today because these two are my film industry cousins, and I got much love for them and the way that they continue to push their agenda, continue to create impactful, dynamic projects that are doing exactly what they need to do, which is create an impact. Now, their cinematic short film is called Wxlf Pack, and it is a musical experience like you've never seen before. And in just a few, I am going to show you a small portion of that Wxlf Pack video. All right. So AB, my first sort of question is for you, right? Since we last spoke, how's your journey as a filmmaker evolved?
Oh man. What was that?
Yeah,
was that,
give it to us. Let me know.
Back?
What'd you say?
Was that before we did Running Back Cradle? Well, that's more of a question for Cradle because he knows the timeline. But that was that before we did Running Back? When we had the last conversation?
Yeah, I mean, we talking about our whole year, so like from the last interview till now.
Oh my God!
Just think about from our first interview till now, like how much you've grown since then.
Man, I want to say, I will just say this, Gab. I have grown as a filmmaker, but I feel like there are so many parts to me as a filmmaker that have grown that I did not expect to grow. So people know, like, I direct and I produce, but I also work in camera as well too. And I feel like that side of my filmmaking entity, I guess you could say, has taken a life of its own now. So it's like, man, it's like the me. Go ahead.
No, I was saying I feel that. I didn't mean to cut you off. Go ahead.
No, it's all good. So it's just like, yeah, I'm looking at it like, man, before, I think when we had our first conversation, I was looking at it like, all right, well, what am I directing next? What am I producing next? Whatever. Now it's like people ain't hitting me up to direct or produce like that. They hitting me up to DP. So I'm like, oh, okay. Now I gotta brush this off and come out of retirement on this end and work with these folks on that end. So it's all good.
I like that. But that sounds like good news to me because as you're growing behind the camera, then when you do get that call for director, you are, you elevated. You've grown. So sounds good to me. Full circle. Yeah, that's good. And CREDLE, I'm gonna ask you the same question. Since we last spoke few days ago, since we last had our interview last year, how has your journey evolved as a musical artist?
Whew, wow.
Talk about it.
And it's crazy because I'm just having this epiphany and I'm just like really just having a flashback of everything that's been going on since then. And it's been so much, but I'm so thankful, for the growth. So pretty much since then, and this is actually, I'm breaking this news. This is the first interview that I'm telling anyone about this. So this is actually amazing.
An exclusive.
Yeah. So I got to rewind it back to when we met at the Orlando Urban, right? And one of the filmmakers that I met there loved the Wxlf Pack, and we stayed in touch. And fast forwarding to this past March, they're actually putting together their feature film, and they had contacted me because they wanted me to do their original soundtrack.
Ooh.
And when I mean to tell you, I've been manifesting this opportunity for years, to do an original soundtrack for a film, and for them to, believe in my talent that much. And ironically, when you texted me yesterday, I was in the studio doing that, for this film. And I'm just so thrilled. I wouldn't have had that opportunity if, we didn't just take that leap of faith and say, you know what, we're gonna, we just gonna drive to Orlando. We just gonna get there. So just the growth as a songwriter, to be able to hear what they want, from within the movie, and just seeing like how that can, how I can pretty much interpret that. But I feel like my background as an actor, also, dapping also in screenwriting as well, writing, we'll get into, running back at some point as well. But just being a writer and being an actor, a music artist, all combining that, being able to interpret what they want. So, so the growth as a songwriter from that perspective, and from the acting standpoint, also debuted in my first off-Broadway, theater, show.
That's right. Tell me about that. How was that show? A Moby Dick, right?
Yeah.
Blues.
Let's get it.
Yeah, Moby Dick Blues. It was a great experience overall. It was a lot preparation. Going from coaching, then going straight into rehearsals, and very, very long days, to say the least. But once the shows got rolling, things started to pick up very fast. But even before that, I mean, honestly, also learning on the production side, because I feel like, not saying, I don't know if I get enough credit, but it's like also realizing that, hey, I'm also a producer, also, like, I might not be like a beat maker, or, but there's so many different versions of production, because it was a mainly rock and blues driven stage play. But they loved Wxlf Pack. Again, Wxlf Pack opened up so many doors.
Yeah.
They wanted to incorporate hip hop, but they didn't know how. They pretty much leaned on me. I pretty much came up with a record myself. Taking lines, or taking the story from the off Broadway stage play, combining it with with my ideas, and then we pretty much came up with something from scratch. And I just said, hey, I freestyle something. I said, hey, what you guys think it is? They loved it, and then pretty much took off from there. So just a lot of growth of, because I don't even know what to call myself really right now. Just so many things I'm learning. So many things that I'm collaborating on. So yeah, just to see the growth from as a songwriter, as a producer as well now. It's just been incredible, and also now as an artist now. From a sonic standpoint, our latest record, Mystery Wife. Shout out to my father. Pack Games featuring him, and just different sounds. So just the growth from that standpoint. And then lastly, I don't mean to go on, but there's a lot going on in the whole year. But just to lastly go even into the film perspective, where it's like, all right, like, what's after Wxlf Pack? So many people's anticipating, the next move. So being able to, last quarter, towards the end of the last quarter of last year, sitting down and actually writing a whole feature film, based on a true story, running back, so being able to interpret, life and put it in, into a whole script, and then, pretty much politicking with, with Abwon, sending him the script, and him like giving me notes, and then going back in and, making corrections and stuff like that. It's just been a tremendous year of growth, and just a year of, in lighter terms, just saying, F it, like, let's just do it. Like, whatever it is, like, I'm just doing it, no holding back. We going for it all.
That's right. That's how I know what opportunities to take. because I'm like, does this align with the original goal that I had coming into this? Does this match with my why? You know, and if it doesn't, it's a no. I have to say no. And sometimes the doors just close by themselves. But the ones that are wide open for you, man, you got to launch through those doors and come in there with everything that you got, everything that you've been preparing. Come through. So congratulations on having a phenomenal year. And I know that anybody who follows you, and the same for you, AB, and Moonlight Media, anybody who follows you guys can continuously see the hard work that y'all are putting in. It's like it's only up from there. There's only success to follow all of that work. And just cheers to you guys. I wish I had some. It's like it's 5 o'clock. Yeah, I mean, hey, you know, cheers to you guys for real. AB, my next question is for you. What stories? I mean, I know that you said that you shift from directing to camera. What stories are you most passionate about telling right now? What you got there? Well,
I got to charge my laptop.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
my bad. I'm listening.
Okay. Well, while you charging that up, what stories are you passionate about telling as a filmmaker? It's like, what stories matter to you the most right now?
Woo! Let me tell you something. So I just want to piggyback on what like CREDLE was saying, like just going like full steam ahead. So we did a feature film called Running Back, right? That was in February. And there was like, I had like some stuff like going on in the background, like some sort of opportunities and things like that. And long story short, after we finished Running Back, I was kind of mentally in a place where I was like, okay, where am I going to go on my next level? Like I've been down the film, like I've done the film festival things, I've produced features, I've directed features, I've had stuff that's been like distributed and things like that. Like what's my next move? This is while I still had stuff in the background. But just like my dad said, it's never official until it's official. That's so right. We finished Running Back. I'm getting ready to gear up to do like a couple other short films and other stuff with other people. And then I got a call from this gentleman who is the unit production manager. Long story short, it was a film for Netflix that they asked me to come on to be a camera PA for. And I looked at this and obviously I accepted it. But the whole time that I was there, I looked at it and I said, yo, everything that I thought I knew about filmmaking has come to this.
Yeah.
And I realized I know nothing.
Okay. All right. How did you move forward from that? Like, how did you continue to move in that opportunity?
Well, I mean, I'm a sponge. So, you know, I'm always willing to learn the stuff that I do know. Like right now, even before that opportunity, the stuff that I do know is able to translate well, like over there. But it's different when you're working on indie projects, when you control the rules, to when you're working on like a big budget industry project and people essentially are doing things a mile a minute. And then you're pretty much like so small in this grand machine.
Yeah.
So it took some time to get used to it, especially with like my schedule, but like I'm a sponge. I learned a lot. And then it just became a point where the DP, the director, the producers, people were just talking to me and just kind of like mentoring me to some degree. And I just realized like now I'm like really blossoming into a better filmmaker. So I say all of this to say, I know there's people that are watching this that probably feel like they're the best that they can be in whatever field that they're in. It doesn't even have to be film. It could be fashion. It could be graphic design, whatever. There's always something and somebody out there that knows more than you. Yeah. So you always have to come with a place of confidence. Yes, you want to be who you are. You want to live in who you are. You want to be prideful in who you are. But you have to come with humility as well. Because let me tell you something. It could have been all it could have taken was one person to say, you know what? I kind of want somebody that's got a little bit more experience and we just not gonna bring him in. And I would have just been stuck here going through the rigmarole of the everyday. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, just like CREDLE said, you know what I mean? And just like you also said too, Gabby, like you have to look at these things, and if it doesn't align with what you got going on, don't do it. Yeah. And you have to set your goals, and you just got to go full steam ahead and just be prepared, because when these opportunities come your way, you gotta be ready to
be ready. That's good. Take it from three people who are working towards some very serious higher goals. Like, just stay ready, and going into these spaces and being humble is everything. I hear you guys keep talking about running back. Can you tell me a little bit, CREDLE, about that project and a little bit about the song?
Yeah, so I have to go back to the record, itself, with Running Back, because it pretty much stemmed from that. So
and running back, like I'm running back to you, not like I got the football and I'm running back. I'm a running back. Which one? What are we talking about?
We run it back to God. We running back.
Running back to God. I love it. Beautiful. Okay.
Yeah. So after the magical creation of Wxlf Pack, it sparked some inspiration to my fellow CREDLE Entertainment artist, Moon Sky. And I remember she was coming back from a tour. And she was coming back from a tour. She was touring in the South by Southwest, touring out there. And she ended up sending me a voice memo of pretty much the idea that she had. And it was pretty much the hook. And it went into, and I pretty much heard it, and it kind of, because during that time, that's when the record with Kanye and Fabio Foreign and Alicia Keys came out. New York City, please don't. And that was going crazy at the moment. And she kind of like sparked inspiration from that, but wanted to go like in a different direction with it. And once I heard, I was like, oh, I gotta get my producer on this. So I hit up my producer from the UK, Samples, which is crazy because he was like a young kid. I think he's like only 19 years old now. So at the time he was about like 16 years old. And so I hit him up and said, hey, my sister got this idea. So long story short, we all get on a call, and I forget which app it was. It could have been Telegram. But pretty much what we're doing right now, we were sharing a screen, and we're just telling him our ideas, what we're looking to do, and what instruments we was looking to do. Like, we pretty much produced it, together. He was able to piece it together. So once we, recorded the record, shout out to my engineer again, Jay Carnell, same engineer I've been working with for the last 8 years, and who also put together Wxlf Pack as well, who scored that for us. And the record was just so powerful. Like, it was a lot that she was going through personally, dealing with, thyroid cancer. Thankfully she's healed. She's good now. And, that was a record that symbolized how angry she was at the world, how angry she was at God for feeling like allowing this to happen to her. But in the grand scheme of things, realizing it was just, these things are ultimately a test to testing your faith, in God, and seeing, because it's easy to have faith in God. It's easy to, smile at people's faces and be happy when everything is going right. Do you still have that same energy when everything is going wrong, with this adversity, going on in your life? Yeah. And pretty much we wanted to take that story, this true story, and actually, and make a film out of it, because after seeing the success of Wxlf Pack, and I mean, it's still going up right now. Now we're at, our 9th, film festival selection, at this point, and we're still going. And we felt like just a regular music video, or we don't do nothing regular anyway, but just a music video where did it justice, done it justice. So we was thinking like, all right, we gotta do a short film, but with actual dialogue. And then, once we just kept writing, And I got to give shout out to my cousin Sean Michael Harrison, who's also like a brother to me. He's a brother, only 3 months apart, and he's a SAG member as well. So he's comes with a ton of experience. He's been on multiple projects, and he pretty much was the co-writer of Running Back. And that thing I know, it went from 25 pages to almost like 60 pages. And we had to do some editing to chop it down. But just being able to tell her truth, tell her story, sitting down with my sister, us having a whole multiple Zoom meetings, and how we wanted to piece it together to make sure that we got the story right. Because people would think like, oh, I'm a brother. I knew every single thing that was going on. I did not, every single thing that was going on. So vice versa. Because when it was happening, I was actually away at school, at school in Massachusetts while she was here in Queens. So it's like, I didn't know everything. So for her to sit down and go through that whole story again and relive that, it wasn't easy, for her. So writing down her story, making sure that, we got everything right with that. And then at the same time, going writing my story, that as well. So going through, self-identity crisis, Gabby, I'm sure you can relate as a former student athlete, where it's like, all right, like, school is done, my career is done. Like, what do I do now?
Yeah.
So I know a lot of athletes to this day who struggle with that. I struggled with that. So we go into that story, and then also my teammate, unfortunately, passing away, while in school. So coping with that, and pretty much that was my closest friend, while I was at school. Because when I went to Massachusetts, I didn't have any family at all. Like I was just, this 18-year-old kid coming in from New York City. Nobody else on the team was from New York. We had some New Jerseyans, but they was, as you can relate, Gabby, we all played kind of the same. A lot of us played the same position, so they weren't, as close with me because I was still a lot of their minutes. So he was pretty much the only person, one of the few people that like really, really took me in. Like, his family, they would take us out. I would go to Cape Cod, just hang out with his friends, his family. So when he, passed away in a car accident, it kind of, it took a major toll on me because I'm like, dang, I was always in the car with him. The car with him where we were going to class.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's like, it's, something that we don't think anything about, just driving, and it's wild because we would go to class, we would go to practice, we would go to parties, we would all type of stuff. So, that was hard for me to write, our scenes that, writing those scenes was really tough. Yeah. And also, going through alcohol abuse as well, which I know a lot of people can, relate to that as well, thinking that was going to numb, the pain and help me get through it when actually it was just making it worse.
Yeah.
So that's why and I go into that in my verse in Running Back. So being able to take those actual stories and that we put in the record and now just extend it into a whole feature film, it's beautiful. So I'm manifesting that, next year, around this time when we do another interview, we'll be talking about, Running Back, this. So I'm excited to see, the reaction and how people are going to feel when people see this film.
Yeah.
If people love Wxlf Pack, oh my goodness, buckle up.
Yeah. And we do love Wxlf Pack, the energy that you can feel through the screen. Cradle, can we hear Running Back anywhere right now? I know we can't see it yet, but can we hear it anywhere? Where can we?
Yeah, so Running Back is available on all streaming platforms. Just type in Cradle and or Moon Sky. It will definitely pop up for you guys. So yeah, Running Back is definitely one of one.
All right.
Those type of records, yeah.
All right. Well, thank you for sharing that because I'm definitely going to look it up. I know I've heard the song before, but when you say all of that, when you explain it, now I know that there's a deeper meaning and something in that song that could, produce some healing. So I'm gonna check that out. AB, my next question is for you in regard to Wxlf Pack. creating the cinematic short film. Tell me something about this film, or just tell me about the process of creating this this short film. Because then you turned around and did it again with Running Back. So now I'm curious to know, what's your process like?
I would say the process with Running Back and Wxlf Pack was, I mean, they're definitely different because Running Back is a feature, and there's, when people watch Running Back, they're going to see more of who I am as a director. I don't think a lot of people really got to gauge that with Wxlf Pack unless you watch like the BTS that we show. You know what I'm saying? And that's fine. I get it. So the process with me when it came to Wxlf Pack was pretty much, because essentially it's we call it a musical film, but at the end of the day, it's a music video. That's how people consume it. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So to me, I was looking at it more from how do I make these angles and these scenes as dynamic as possible in as short amount of time as possible? Because, CREDLE's performing, Moon Sky's performing, Devi's performing, we have the choir, we have the dancers and things like that. So it's like, okay, these people know what they have to do. CREDLE knows what his lyrics need to be. Whereas with Running Back, it's like, I got to get the best performance out of every actor, and I have to make sure the DP understands what I need him to do for this vision. So when I approached Wxlf Pack, once CREDLE initially told me everything that he wanted to achieve with the project, it was just pretty much like, okay, how do I use my technical knowledge and get the best out of this? I have gaffing experience, so I'm very knowledgeable when it comes to lighting. I understand like camera angles. I understand the terminology because I use cameras as well too. So all of that right there was like, okay, bet you're getting these 5 positions out of one person, and that's me. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I brought my equipment, I did this, I did that. And then everything in terms of like the whole directing, in terms of making sure the personalities are meshing and everybody's engaged and things like that. Everybody already knows that. I've said all of that before, but you know what I'm saying? That just goes with the territory of being the director. But I think what a lot of people also don't know is the post-production process. CREDLE and I had a very, 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 we were super duper duper hands-on with the post-production process. A lot of people kind of just, and this is just coming from a director's point of view, a lot of directors, when they finish shooting a film, if they're not editing it themselves, they just hand it off to somebody that they're paying, and they say, just send it back to me when you get a draft. I don't like to do that because I know what I want to get out of the project, right?
Yes.
So it's like, CREDLE sent the first draft to me, and then I was like, all right, bet. We know what we want to get out of this. Like, so that's when I was like, okay, we're just going to have to hold the hand of the editor the whole process. And if he's okay with collaborating, that's great. I'm easy to work with. But at the same time, I'm not going to just let you take all these creative liberties and do what you want to do.
Yeah.
Because you have this vision. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
absolutely.
That was just really, I'll just give you that tidbit there. Like, all the figures that are out there, like, you have to be willing to collaborate. Like, it's not just, it's my vision or the highway. Like, everybody has to be able to collaborate for the sake of the greater good.
Yeah. From pre-production to post-production, did this project turn out the way that you guys expected it would from the time you had it on paper? Was the finished product what you wanted?
I'll be honest, not 100%.
Okay.
But it's not anyone's fault, right?
So in a good way.
Right. Yeah. So because pretty much I felt we pretty much like Uno, right? We love playing Uno. Black folk. So it's like sometimes you got to deal with the cards that you have. You got your guys. For an example, right? Some of the solo shots that I have, even the choir shots that we have in the film, in the all black room, it was only but so far that we can go. Because there was like, I think it was like pipes in the ceiling, but the pipes were hanging kind of low. So some of the I wanted like wider. Like I was looking to have like wider or like shots that weren't so close up, originally. But it was like that's what we had to do, So you just hey, you given lemons, you got to make. I make pink lemonade. I'll make red lemonade. I make pink lemonade.
Yeah.
When I get lemons. So, so that's pretty much from that standpoint as well, or like shots just taking longer than expected. Like we didn't expect us getting from one location to the next location, which without traffic, it was 15 minutes. I did it myself when we did a run through of it, when we was doing location scouting, but we didn't think, all right, it's 5, 6 o'clock in the evening, 15 minutes turned into an hour.
Yeah, boy.
In Brooklyn, so it getting darker sooner than we expected, So, but at the end of the day, I'm thankful. I'm grateful for the project that we have, and so in my head, I took all that energy into running back. So I was like, okay, like I want to make sure that this is
right.
100%, almost 100%, if not 100%, of how I want it, to be. So. But yeah, now Wxlf Pack, it's great to finally see. It was great to see what was up here, out, visually, from the choreography. Shout out to me and Ronnie.
Yes.
To, the editing, the special effects makeup with Chaz, just turning me into a wolf. Like that was insane. Like that was crazier than what I thought. Like that part itself was just like, wow, I didn't think I would look this great, with this makeup. So it's give and take. It's give and take.
Yeah.
But for the most part, it was mainly what I wanted it to be.
Okay. All right, AB, you have anything you want to add to that from the pre-production and post-production process?
Yeah, I would say I do agree with what CREDLE was saying. There was a shot in particular that I wanted to get. I wanted to get a drone shot. So there's a scene in the when they're in the woods and they're all like dancing, and you see like everybody behind CREDLE like just disperse and like run into the camera in their own like little direction. I wanted to get a drone shot of just everybody running frantically, and it kind of looked like just an overhead drone shot of everybody running, and it just looks like they're like kind of just in formation. And we couldn't do that because it was like pitch black outside. We're in a park, so there was literally like no lights. Yeah. So the drone, once we turned the camera on the drone, it was just you couldn't see anything. So I was like, we can't get that. But just like CREDLE was saying, like I feel the same way about the wide angles and things like that too. We did the best with what we could do.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, that is just it's just production. You just essentially have to. It's really just glorified problem solving. That's really just what production is.
Yeah.
One thing I will say, and this is nobody's fault as well, I do feel like a lot of, for the most part, I am happy with everybody that was part of the project, but I do feel like a lot of the issues that people brought on set, CREDLE does not know about this, and that's not his fault because he didn't need to. I'm the director.
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of the problems people brought on set were super petty, and I do think that a lot of folks came to the shoot feeling like they were bigger than the project.
Oh, okay.
And and I get it. This is music. Egos do play a part in this.
Yeah.
I understand that. And as a director, I made sure I had to have my side conversations with people and, talk people off the ledge, so to speak. But at the same time, I do feel like if you were on set for a Beyonce video, would you be acting like this?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So
yeah.
But, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
The 9 festival selections, awards. I got a championship ring right up here. I got a right here. You know what I mean? So it's like, it is what it is. Like I'm not gonna cry over spilled milk. We did what we had to do. We still booming. We show love to whoever we show love to, and that's that.
Yeah, not spilled milk, man. This Wxlf Pack movement is a movement. Like I haven't seen anything like this done in a very long time. And to be able to sit down and talk with the creators of this song also features Moon Sky and Devere, right? That's his name.
Oh, Devi.
What is it?
Devi.
Okay. So if I have you guys' permission, I would like to show a short clip of this video. This is one of my favorite parts, aside from Moon Sky just giving it up, leaving everything on the floor. This is one of my favorite clips from this short. So here we go.
Beat them haters in the mist. Tryna hit you with a stick. On this side, ain't no easy licks. From the projects, I was raised in the bricks. As a kid, used to be scared of hearing on my house that night. Little did I know, this my calling, this my destiny. My man just died, but can't let it get to me. He was a teammate, more like family. He was the bro that just be hurting me. That's why the devil always the enemy. That's the problem in my community. We don't express how we feel. Pain in my lyrics, all my struggles. You gon' hear it. I'm your template, I'm your blueprint. I'm your standard, I'm your goals. I'm the goal on the mountain. It's a full moon staring at the stars. All my dreams coming true. I'm in love with God. Don't be surprised. I'm a legend on the rise. CREDLE has arrived. Yeah, I've been through a lot. Hear my wolf cry. On them dark nights, I highlight. I know you hear us now. One out. Do you hear my howl? Do you hear my howl? I know you hear us now. One out. Do you hear my howl? Do you hear my howl?
Ooh.
That song will forever hit, yo.
Come on.
That's a timeless record, yo.
It is.
Yeah, you said it then. So with the energy of that, CREDLE, what can we expect from your performance at UrbanFest 360?
I'm mad hype right now, yo, just because you showed that, yo. Like, I'm ready to perform right now. I'm about to fly out tonight. Just expect a lot of energy. Just expect to be a part of the pack. You know, just if you're not ready to be a wolf, just don't show up. Don't show up. You're gonna be high. You're gonna be high at the end of the night. So I gotta, you know what I mean? And AB's not gonna be there, so I definitely gotta even really represent the team now. So I'm performing as if they're all on stage with me.
Yeah, that's good. That's real good. Guys, I wanna switch gears a little bit and ask you some questions. I want you to finish the sentence. So I'm gonna ask both of you. I'm gonna start with AB. Okay. All right, AB. The most challenging part of creating is
knowing when to not be a perfectionist.
We're gonna leave it right there. No explanation needed. Okay. Ooh, that's deep. That's deep. We can go on and on. Okay. The next one. The best feeling in the world as a filmmaker is.
That's CREDLE, right?
That's
you. That's you. The best feeling in the world as a filmmaker is. That's it. Like dot, and then you.
Wait, is this for me or for CREDLE?
It's all for you, and then I'm gonna ask CREDLE the same questions next.
I'm sorry.
That's okay. That's okay. It's for you.
You said the best feeling. Say that one more time.
Yes, the best feeling in the world as a filmmaker is
seeing the project actually come out.
That's good. That's a good one. All right, and the last one is one thing I can't create without is
like-minded individuals.
Oh, collaboration is key.
It is. To me,
very
it is.
Good.
To me, it is.
Yeah, that's very good. All right, CREDLE. I want to go on and on. I want to hear more about that, but I'm gonna switch gears. I'm gonna go to CREDLE. Okay, sure. CREDLE. The most challenging part of creating is.
Oh man, keeping my ideas under budget. There we go.
expensive. Okay. All right. All right. The best feeling in the world as an artist is
when the crowd chants Wxlf Pack with me.
oh, yeah, that part. Okay. All right. And the last one. One thing I can't create without is
the Brodies, the Wxlf Pack. I can't clear it out though.
That's good. That's good. You guys both gave really good answers, and I appreciate it. I want to go on and on. I want to elaborate, but I don't want to hold you too long. Okay. All right. I got another quick little game segment for us. You guys have probably seen it on social media, where I ask you a question and you guys point to each other, like if it's him or if it's yourself. Okay, you've seen that, right?
Yeah.
All right, let's do it. Let's do it. Let's get into it. All right. So, an example of that is like, okay, who's more likely to, and then you point to the other person.
Gotcha.
All right. Who's more likely to be late to a meeting?
Nope.
I think we both on point.
Yeah, we.
Okay, we'll take that. All right.
Cradle was late today, so I would give it to him.
All right. Who's more competitive when it comes to hitting a deadline? Who's more competitive when it comes to hitting a deadline?
I feel like we both.
So point to yourself. It's you.
Yeah.
All right. Who comes up with the craziest ideas during a brainstorming session? Who has the wildest ideas during brainstorming? I don't think these questions are working out. Come on.
You can go, Bo, because
I feel like context matters with this question because, like, I can't do the thing Cradle does and vice versa. That's why we work so well together.
Good. That's good. I'm happy you said that. All right. Who's more likely to crack a joke?
Cradle.
All right. Who's more likely to survive longer if there was a zombie apocalypse?
Well, he watches the show all the time, so he's gonna know. Give it that.
All right. Who's more likely to get a girl's phone number while on set?
Cradle. Wait, no, I don't.
Cradle, you didn't say anything, so is it you?
I think it's important to note that Cradle is extremely professional. He's not like out there trying to like bag shorties on set.
But they're gonna try to bag me. So
yeah. But yeah, I would say him simply because like I'll just say Cradle. All
right.
Yeah.
All right. Who's more likely to get distracted by social media or a side project? Who's on social media more? Like, which one of you guys are into it?
I think we.
This is crazy because we're so alike. And this is, I don't know.
Okay. All right. This will be my last one.
I'll give that to myself simply because I post memes. So I'll give that to me because I post memes.
All right.
I don't get sidetracked. Let's get that straight. I don't get sidetracked.
All right. And this will be my last one. Who would be the first to panic if the Wi-Fi went down for an hour?
Ooh.
I don't think.
I mean, we can't do what we do without technology. I'm sorry.
You're right.
Well, we both write.
Say that again, Cradle.
I'll just start writing. So, I mean, he write too. So
yeah, it's
all right.
You know what, Gabby, I kind of like living off the grid. Like I went off the grid for a few days a few months ago. I kind of like living off the grid. I can't do it permanently now, but
yeah. I kind of like it too. Yeah, I went on a cruise and I was just happy to be unavailable and not to be checking my phone or looking for anybody. I was just so present. And I think I'm into that too. Now off the grid, like living with animals, creating my own food and stuff like that. I need to pray a little more about that one. I'm not that grown.
Where'd you go on the cruise?
We went to Jamaica, Cayman Islands, and I went with my family for my birthday. And I'm a water sign. It was all connected, boy. It was 100 for me. It was really good.
Ain't nothing like a cruise, man. I tell you.
Yeah. How about you? You did you go on a cruise? Are you just vacation?
So when I went to Florida, I had went to a cruise to the Bahamas, but Cradle and I and some other folks went on a cruise last year to Bermuda.
Nice. Whoa, what was that like?
6 days or something like that. But yeah, listen, I always tell people, like, don't listen to these haters out here that will try to talk you off going on a cruise. Like, go on a cruise.
Go. It's definitely worth it. It was worth it. My kids had the best time they've had in a really long time, so it was worth it.
It is.
All right. As we wrap up, guys, I want to know, Cradle, I'll start with you. What's one piece of advice that you would give to your younger self?
Continue to be innovative, continue to be different. They'll soon see what you see.
Yeah.
Because and I'll elaborate on that, a little more. Because when I first started out, very few people really understood where I was coming from. Most people didn't understand, my sound. They loved my energy. I was always energetic when I was performing, but my sound was just so different. They didn't know a lot of people didn't know what to do with it. So I would just tell myself to, stay with it and, embrace it, embrace being different, which is what I ended up, doing anyway. So
yeah,
you gotta be different to be with Gabby, You can't be regular being on this platform. I'm just saying.
Listen, this is a call. This is a call, and like, this is all with purpose. So I say, anybody that I have access to, like, this is divine time, and this is alignment. This is what this is supposed to be. So you're right about that, because I'm out here with a purpose. This is higher than me. So you're right. If you had to, you know what I'm saying? Show you right. If you had to explain your sound to somebody who's never heard your music or never encountered you and your energy, how would you explain your sound to people?
If I had to explain it in one word, I would say rejuvenating.
Oh,
refreshing. Words. Those are the words that have been given to me. When they hear my music. So it's a deep breath of fresh air, it's just something different, so yeah.
Yeah, that's good. Very well said. And for you who have not heard Cradle's music, but I know everybody's heard Cradle's music because they just saw Wxlf Pack. Now you can stream Cradle's music on all streaming platforms, and you can hear his new song. I know we talked about Running Back, but you can also hear his new song, Mystery Wife, which is really good. I really like Mystery Wife. Like, when I first heard it, I played it a few times. I was like, this track is for me right here. I like the element that your dad brought to it. What's your dad's name?
Patrick James.
Patrick James. I really like that. Not to sound away, but that old school and that new school, that was what I needed. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
All right, AB, if you could give advice to your younger self, what advice would you give?
So I'm gonna just give you some context into the life of Ab. So I used to run 3 movie theaters back when I was coming up, and we used to have all types of like meetings with like theater owners and stuff like that. And I would literally rub shoulders with like the VP of marketing, executive producers, this, that, and the third. We'd go to all of these like exclusive events. I would meet all of these big time actors and all of this. And back then, I knew I always wanted to do movies, but back then I didn't have like a lane or some sort of plan. I was just kind of just like going to work, like, oh, this is just my job. Like, I'm gonna go, I'm gonna get my check. I'm just gonna go to the bar. I'm gonna go to the club. I'm gonna take some girl out. Like, I wasn't thinking. Every day, and it takes a lot for me to like really not beat myself up about it and give myself some grace every day. And I will tell myself this, if I did see my younger self, if I would have known that those resources that I had back then would be so valuable to me now, I would have been a lot more conscious about the networking that I was doing. Whereas back then it was just like, oh, okay, I'm just going to reach out to them and see if they can give us some free shirts for our Avengers premiere this Friday. I'm thinking like, bro, I could have easily just called him up like, yo, bro, can you spot me like 20,000 for this movie? So, you know, I mean, it is what it is. It is what it is, you know. Like I said, I try to give myself grace, but man, if I would have just had my head on straight back then and really had the foresight to just be like, if this is what you want to do, you need to take advantage of it now. Who knows? Me, Cradle and Gab, we might be on like TBS having this interview.
Call me. It's coming. It's coming. Just call me. It's happening. I can relate. As you were saying that, I immediately could relate to what you were saying. And I have to share a little bit. When I moved to New York, I left Florida and I moved to New York. And I moved to New York to be a model. And I didn't have any sense of direction. I didn't really know what I was building. I just knew I didn't want to be in school anymore. And I knew that I had already sort of started that journey for myself. But what was I going to do long term, or what was I building while I was there? I did not know. I did not have the guidance that I needed. And so as I got on and I started making all of these moves, walking in Fashion Week and promotions for large brands, I did a whole catalog for a very famous hair designer, but nothing, because I had no vision with what I was creating. And if I would have only tapped in, created those connections that I needed, I would have been, I feel like I might have been in a different place than I am today. Yeah. So I feel that. How do you overcome that? Like, give me some advice. How do you keep moving past that? Like, you just do, I guess.
Yeah. It kind of is just like a little bit of you just do, because, you know, it like we can't control the past. We can only control the present. So I look at it and I say, you know, I got to just give myself grace, which is why now, you know, I kind of just make sure I network with intention now. Everything is with intention. People may not like it. Oh, you know, every time we talk, you only talking about business and that. But it's just like, listen, man, like when I had all of this time, when I was in my 20s, I had all of this time to really solidify what I wanted to do. Yeah. I was using that time and that energy for the wrong thing. So now I need to make sure, like, the next 5 years, I'm in a place where I could say my 5-year goal has come to pass. So it sucks. Sometimes it kind of gets to me mentally, but just like you said, you just kind of do, and you just got to just keep putting your best foot forward and control what you can control.
Yeah. Cradle.
I'll say this because I think about what you guys are talking about, but from a athletic, you know, standpoint. Or if I went to a different high school, if I would have went, you know, would I have helped me with like different outcome going to a better college, you know, to play for? But you know how I pretty much navigate that is, you know, one little tweak could tweak everything that you have right now. You know what I mean? So if you would have just took one little step this way, maybe we don't meet at all. You know what I mean? So, or you don't meet this person. So I'll say that. And then two, also, at least you know now, right? At least you know now. There's a lot of untold stories in that graveyard. I'm just being honest. There's a lot of people who never figure it out. So to this point that you guys figured it out this early still, and you guys, I mean, we're all still young. Like, just be grateful in that now you know where you want to go with it.
Yeah.
That's a fact.
Absolutely. That's good. Very well said. Yeah. Very well said, because I definitely move with intention now. So, yeah. I know, right?
You done got real deep.
You back up there.
Listen, guys, how can the community of filmmakers or your audience, how can we support you? Like, I think it's important to be intentional about telling people how they can support you as where you are right now. So Cradle, I'll start with you. How can we support you?
Well, without the obvious of, no funds, outside of that, other ways that could be, could be support is, there's a lot of things that can be done for free too. Like, people just think it's just monetized or just money. Yeah. You can support easily just by sharing, through social media. It can be like, hey, sharing, the Wxlf Pack, musical film, or sharing music. Like, hey, did you hear this artist? Or like, this dude was pretty dope. So just being a advocate, being a Wxlf Pack advocate, of just sharing our work, out there with people, and speaking good of us when we're not even in the room. I feel like that's things that would help, because the old-fashioned way of spreading news is still word of mouth. So that's the greatest way. So that would definitely be a great way to support. But if you happen to know anyone, with funds, that would help as well. Yes, amen.
Okay. All right, and you know what too? Since you say that, there is a filmmaker that I spoke with, and she has an initiative called 100 Voices of Florida. I'm not sure if it's only for Floridians, but every quarter they support a writer's script. And her name is Vicky Size. She'll be at URBANFEST. And I'm going to make sure to introduce you, because she may actually be someone that turns out to be a resource. Even if you decide to film your next one in Florida, Vicky may be somebody that can help. So, all right. So AB, I'll throw it to you. How can the community of filmmakers support you?
So just to piggyback off of CREDLE, we really do need advocates. So I'm going to put this into the universe now for the viewers. So Running Back will be out in 2026. I'm not going to give you guys a date. So we are going to be the way we promote this film is going to be a little different. I'm not going to get into all of that now because we're already at an hour. People that want to support, you want to be an ambassador, you want to be an advocate, reach out to us via social media and let us know where you live. Maybe we can have some sort of screening or premiere in your town, in your city. We could work together. We can make this work, because at this point in time, just like he said, word of mouth. It's old school, but it still works. And I'm trying to take over the world. So we need as many people as possible to be part of this project. You can live in Philly. You can live in West Palm Beach, Tampa. You can live in Ohio, whatever. You want to be part of the pack? You know what I mean? Part of a collective. We could work together. You own a bar, you own a library, you own a shop. You may have a big backyard where you hold barbecues. You want to get down, we can have a premiere there. You let us know. Hit us up on Instagram, social media. We can make this happen.
I know exactly who to connect you with. There's a team out of Jacksonville that creates premieres for filmmakers, independent filmmakers, everybody. I think that'd be a really good connection for you. So it's like, that's why I always push this agenda. How can we support you? Because sometimes if you don't say it, people will act like they don't know, or they won't know. Even your own mama, she won't know, because you're so busy. You're creative. You're on the go. You're always working on something, and you think you're having these conversations, but maybe you're actually not. So when you just say it right out, now people know how to move. So I love that. I love that. I love that. Guys, that is the end of my conversation. But before we get out of here, where can we see Wxlf Pack besides URBANFEST 360?
You can tap into CREDLEentertainment.com and go through there. You can watch Wxlf Pack there. I'll lead you to YouTube, Apple Music, Tidal, Roku, as well. iTunes as well.
iTunes. Okay. And where can we connect with you guys? Where can we connect with you?
So you can connect with me, again, CREDLEentertainment.com. Please make sure to sign up for our newsletter, so you can stay in the loop. You can be in the know, all right? And you can follow us on Instagram at I am CREDLE, also at CREDLEent.
Word. And they can hit me on Instagram at ABWONUNO. That's ABWONUNO. My website, moonlightmedia.us, is being revamped right now. I would say, what are we in August? By the end of September, it'll be back up too, so people can tap in with me and all of my whereabouts and my happenings then. I think it is important to note that when people are searching for Wxlf Pack, remember there is an X instead of an O.
Yes. Yeah. That's X right. That's right. There we go, right there.
Got it.
All right, guys, this has been another great conversation on the Actors Talk with Gabby Kennedy, being presented to you by UrbanFest 360, happening September 20th and 21st in Orlando, Florida. I hope to see you guys there. Okay, we'll talk later. Bye, guys.
Peace.
Oh.
Word.
We're on, girl. We are
right.
live.
All right.